Hello friends, in today's class I am going to discuss the fractional oxidation numbers. Thereafter, what are the uses of oxidation number? So this comes under redox part 3. So before listening this class, then please please watch the redox part 1, part 2. So now let us see what are these fractional oxidation numbers. So fractional oxidation numbers. So all these are previous questions. So oxidation number is a fraction. So that is the meaning of a fractional oxidation number. Some compounds. So take the S4O6 minus 2. Here 4 sulfurs are there. That's why this ion is called tetrathionate. So tetrathionate ion, because it is derived from the tetrathionic acid. Thionic acid, that's why the salt is called 8. So tetrathionate ion. In this, what is the sulfur oxidation state? So find in a normal way, let the sulfur oxidation state is X, then here 4X. Each oxygen oxidation state is -2 into 6 is equal to -2. Because for polyatomic ions, the sum of oxidation state is equal to charge of the ion. So it is -2. Then find the X value. So 4X is equal to here plus 10. Then X is equal to plus 10 by 4. That is 2.5 plus 2.5. So that is fractional oxidation state. Then you get the doubt. So fractional oxidation state 2.5 means will the atom share the 2.5 electrons, like 0.5 electrons? That is not possible. Okay, so how that 2.5 is there for the sulfur? So how the oxidation state of 2.5 for sulfur? See here, that is average oxidation state of sulfur. In this molecule, in this ion, sulfur shows the two different types of oxidation state. So you can derive these different oxidation state by knowing the structure only. That is the only way. So what is the structure of S4O6 minus 2? So there are 4 sulfurs. Then the 2 terminal sulfurs bind with 2 oxygens. If you put the H here, that is called thionic acid. If you remove the H, then it becomes O minus. Here also O minus. This is dibasic acid. Double bond O here, double bond. Now, see this oxygen is -2 because it is oxide, not a peroxide and superoxide. -2. This oxygen is -1. Here also -1. This is -2 and this is -2. Okay, between 2 sulfurs here, for example, if we take this sulfur, so this sulfur, around this sulfur 2 bonds are there. So it is also left side sulfur, right side also sulfur. Between 2 similar atoms, there is no distribution of charges because they equally share this electron pair, bonded pair of electrons. That's why there is no creation of charges. Then what is the oxidation state of the sulfur? 0, because this side sulfur, this side sulfur. So no losing of electrons, no gaining of electrons between 2 similar atoms. That what the charge of this sulfur, it is also 0. Now, so around this sulfur, this oxygen -2, -2, -1, total -5. So when the -5 go to equal to outside, it become +5. So this sulfur is +5. And what about this one? This is also +5. So 2 terminal sulfur have the +5 oxidation state, and the 2 middle sulfur have the 0 oxidation state. So count the total sum of positive charges here: +5, 0, +0, +5. Total how many sulfurs are there? Total 4 sulfurs. So that is +10 by 4. So among 4 sulfur atoms, how much positive charge is present? +10 charge. So that is the meaning of +10 by 4. Okay, if their asking question is what is the sulfur oxidation state, that is +2.5. That is the answer. They are asking, oh, what is the average oxidation state of sulfur? That is also 2.5. Then what are the two different possible oxidation state for the sulfur? That is 0, plus 5. Like that they can ask. They may ask, there are chances to may ask the how many sulfur have a zero oxidation state. So 2 sulfurs. Like that they may ask. Now take the in a similar way, one more question. Second one, Br3O8. So how many bromines are there? 3 bromines. That's why this compound is called tribromo. So the number of oxygens are 8. Hence it is called octoxide. So tribromo octoxide. So find the bromine oxidation state in a normal general. Find the oxidation state of bromine in a normal way. So here bromine, at the bromine oxidation state is X. So 3 bromines, 3X. Each oxygen oxidation state is -2. So how many oxygens are there? 8. This is neutral molecule. That's why the sum of oxidation state is equal to 0. Then 3X is equal to plus 16. Then X is equal to plus 16 by 3. So this is the average oxidation state of bromine. Plus 16 by 3. Let us see how it is 16 by 3. Loss of gain of plus 16 by 3 electrons are not possible. Now come to the here structure. So 3 bromines are there. So 3 bromines are there here. The 2 terminal bromines are bonded with oxygens. Oxygen. Now see here this one, this oxygen is -2. This oxygen is -2. Here -2. So this oxygen -2, -2, -2. Here -2, -2. Now come to the charge of this bromine. Here -2, -2, total -6. But this contribution, so this bromine, this is the bromine. So this bromine contribution towards this charge is 0. That's why the total -6. Then this is +6. Then -2, -2. This side bromine, this side bromine. Between two similar atoms, no contribution. So total +4. Like in the same way here, terminal this bromine, here also +6. So total, what is the positive charge here? +6, +4, and +6. So present on how many number of bromine atoms? 3. So total that is +16 by 3. So this is the oxidation state here. In this molecule, 2 different bromines are there. So one bromine show the +4 oxidation state, that is the middle bromine. The 2 terminal bromines will show the +6 oxidation states. So this is the tribromo octoxide. So one more molecule, third one, carbon suboxide. Carbon suboxide, C3O2. Okay. So find the oxidation state of carbon in a normal way. So 3x, that the oxidation state of carbon is X. So 3 carbons are there, 3x. So each oxygen oxidation state is -2 into 2 is equal to 0. So X is equal to +4 by 3. Let us see how it is +4 by 3. So if you see the structure C3O2, so this middle carbon, if you see the middle carbon, this middle carbon is bonded with 2 other carbon atoms. So between 2 similar atoms, no contribution of charge, it is 0. Then this oxygen is -2, this oxygen is -2. Then this carbon is +2 and this carbon is +2. So these 2 carbons are terminal carbons. They can exhibit the +2 oxidation state, but the middle carbon is 0 oxidation state. Now see the total sum of charges here on 3 carbon atoms. This is 1, 2, 3 carbon atoms. Total +2, 0, +2, total +4. Plus 4 charge present on the how many carbons? 3. Plus 4 by 3. So that is the average oxidation state of carbon. So fourth one is one more molecule, Fe3O4. So this is the spinel. Spinel means mixed oxide. There are two types of spinels, inverse spinel and normal spinel. So this is the mixed oxide. So it's a mixed oxide of both ferrous and ferric ions. Okay. In this Fe3O4, what is the iron oxidation state? So if you find the normal way, so 3 iron atoms, 3x, each oxygen is -2 into 4 is equal to 0, then x is equal to plus 8 by 3. Let us see how it is plus 8 by 3. So Fe3O4 is the combination of FeO plus Fe2O3. Okay, if you combine these two, here how many iron atoms are there? 1, here 2, total 3. So how many oxygens are there? Here 3 oxygens, here 1 oxygen, total 4. Fe3O4. This is ferrous. So by seeing this formula, we can predict what is the charge here, what is the valency, what is the charge, plus 2. This is ferrous. Okay, here this is ferric, Fe plus 3. So Fe plus 2, how many iron atoms are there? So 1 iron is Fe plus 2, whereas 2 irons here, 2 irons are Fe plus 3. So total positive charge is plus 2 here. Here 1 iron atom is plus 3, 2 iron atoms is plus 6. Total plus 8. Present time, how many iron atoms? 3 iron atoms. So here Fe3O4 iron can exhibit the two different types of oxidation state that are they are plus 2 and plus 3, plus 8 by 3. Like in the similar way, Mn3O4. So here also 3x minus 2 into 4 is equal to 0. Then x is equal to plus 8 by 3. So this is the oxidation state. Mn3O4 is the combination of manganese oxide and manganese dioxide. So this manganese is plus 2, this manganese is plus 4. So two manganese are plus 2, and one manganese is plus 4. So total plus 8 by 3. So like in the same way here, one more molecule, Pb3O4, red lead, Pb3O4. So this is also a combination of, here also x is equal to, you get the plus 8 by 3. This is also a combination of 2 PbO plus PbO2. So this is plus 2 oxidation state, then this is plus 4 oxidation state. So if you get the doubt now, PbO2, how the PbO2, what how it is plus 4. So here you can calculate Pb. So Pb is x. Each oxygen is -2 into 2 is equal to 0. Then x is equal to plus 4. So here Pb is plus 4. Here Pb is plus 2. So these are the molecules examples for fractional oxidation states. Now see what is the use of this oxidation states or number. So use of oxidation number. So what is the use of oxidation number? The first one is it is used in nomenclature. So we can use in nomenclature. For example, FeCl2 and FeCl3. So two compounds are there. But instead of writing ferrous and ferric, you can use the iron, okay, chloride. But here, what is the iron? Here also you can mention the iron chloride. So both are iron chlorides only. Then, but where they are differ, these two compounds. So here iron oxidation state is plus 2. Then we have to mention the two oxidation state in terms of Roman number within parentheses, in brackets. Here what is the iron oxidation state? We can write the 3 Roman number within parentheses or brackets. So this is iron 2 chloride, this is iron 3 chloride. Like in the same way, Hg2Cl2, this is mercurous chloride. HgCl2, mercury chloride. Otherwise, you can write the mercury 1 chloride. Okay, this is mercury 2 chloride. 2 chloride. Like in the same way here, CuCl, CuCl2. This is cuprous chloride. This is cupric chloride. Like that you can write. So that is the first use. Now come to the second one. Second one is very important. It's very important. Second one. You can predict the nature of the compound. Prediction of nature of the compound. Okay. So how can you, by using oxidation number, how can you predict the nature of the compound? You see here, the maximum oxidation state of an atom, is equal to its group number or number of valency electrons. For most of the S and P block, this is correct. Okay. For maximum oxidation states of an atom, the maximum oxidation state of an atom is equal to group number or number of valency electrons. So that means the maximum oxidation state of an atom does not exceed its group number. So maximum state is equal to group number. But for D block elements, maximum oxidation state for D block elements, so the maximum oxidation state is equal to sum of Ns and N-1d electrons. So you get the more clarity by taking one example. So 2-3 examples. So for most of the P and S block elements, maximum oxidation state is equal to its group number or number of valency electrons. But for D block elements, the maximum oxidation state is equal to sum of Ns and N-1d electrons. So I will take the one P block, 2-3 P block elements and 2 D block elements, you get the more clarity. For example, sulfur. So what is the sulfur maximum oxidation state? So that is +6 because it is belongs to 6th group, the +6th. Okay. Then take the nitrogen. What is the maximum state possible? +5. Otherwise, nitrogen oxidation state is nitrogen electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p3. Atomic number is 7 electrons. So here valency shell, how many electrons are there total here? 2. Second is the valency shell. So 2 + 3 total 5. So 5 is the +5 is the maximum oxidation state possible. Then take the one D block element, chromium. For chromium, what is the maximum oxidation state? +6. Manganese, +7. See the manganese, what is the electronic configuration of manganese? Argon. So atomic number is 25. Argon 3d5 and 4s2. So for D block elements, the maximum oxidation state is equal to sum of Ns and N-1d electrons. So Ns, that is 4s, N-1d is the 3d. So this is 3d, N-1d, 4s is the Ns. Sum of Ns and N-1d electrons, maximum oxidation state. Then here, manganese total number of 3d and 4s electrons are 5. That's why manganese maximum oxidation state possible is +7. Like in the chromium, so chromium oxidation state is argon. So 3d5, 4s1. So total here 3d 5 electrons, 4s 1 electron, total 6 electrons. Hence, chromium maximum state is +6. So this is the way to find the maximum oxidation state. So it is equal to group number. So that is the maximum oxidation state. Now come to then how can you find the minimum oxidation state? The minimum oxidation state of an atom is equal to group number -8 or group number -8 or number of valency electrons -8. So this is the formula to find the minimum oxidation state. Okay, for example, nitrogen. For nitrogen, what is the minimum oxidation state? In nitrogen, number of valence electrons are 5. So 5 minus 8 is -3. Sulfur. For sulfur, what is the minimum oxidation state? So number of valence electrons are group number is 6. 6 minus 8 -2. Chlorine, halogen, 7 minus 8 -1. So these are the minimum oxidation state, and this is the formula to find the minimum oxidation state. Group number -8 or number of valence electrons -8. Okay. Then what is the uses of to find the maximum and minimum? So with help of maximum and minimum oxidation state, we can predict the nature of the compound. The points are, if the central atom of molecule has maximum oxidation state, that molecule or that compound act as oxidizing agent. So here what is written? If the central atom of a molecule has maximum oxidation state, that molecule act as oxidizing agent. So by taking 3-4 examples, you get the more clarity. For example, H2SO4. In H2SO4, what is the central atom? Sulfur. Okay, for sulfur. So what is the maximum oxidation state? +6. What is the minimum oxidation state? -2. Okay, maximum +6, minimum is -2. Okay, here H2SO4, find the sulfur oxidation state, that is +6. Okay, during formation of sulfuric acid, sulfur already lose the 6 electrons. You know, sulfur electronic configuration is neon 3s2 3p4. So +6 means if the sulfur lose these 2 electrons and these 4 electrons, then sulfur get the +6 configuration. So after losing these 6 electrons, sulfur get the neon configuration, that is highly stable. So it cannot lose further, but there are chances to gain the electron. So it cannot lose the electrons, but it may gain the electron. So gaining of electron is called reduction. The compound itself undergo reduction is called oxidizing agent. So this compound act as only oxidizing agent. So take one more compound here, HNO3. Here nitrogen, what is the oxidation state? +5. The maximum oxidation state possible for nitrogen also +5. So nitrogen, by losing 5 electrons, it get the helium configuration. So it cannot lose further, but there are chances to gain the electron. So that's why it can act as the only oxidizing agent. If the central atom has the higher oxidation state, then that compound act as oxidizing agent. To take two more examples here. So this is the famous compound KMnO4. Here manganese. What is the manganese oxidation state? +7. So for manganese, what is the maximum oxidation state possible? Argon 3d5 and 4s2. So for d black elements, the maximum oxidation state is equal to sum of 3d and 4s, n minus 1d and ns. So here manganese maximum, it can show the +7 oxidation state. After losing +7 oxidation state, manganese get the argon configuration. It cannot lose further electron, but it may gain the electron. Gaining of electron is called reduction. That compound undergoes reduction is called oxidizing agent. So KMnO4 is the act as only oxidizing agent. Oxidizing agent. So if the central atom of a compound has minimum oxidation state, has minimum oxidation state, that compound act as reducing agent. So when if the central atom of a compound has minimum oxidation state, that compound act as reducing agent. So take some examples here. NH3. What is the oxidation state of nitrogen here? -3. For nitrogen, what is the minimum oxidation state? Minimum oxidation state is group number -8. So G group number -8 is the minimum oxidation state. So that is group number is here 5. 5 minus 8 is so -3. For nitrogen, the minimum oxidation state is -3. So by gaining 3 electrons, nitrogen get the neon configuration. It cannot gain the one more electron, but there are chances it may lose the electron. So losing of electron is called oxidation. The compound itself undergo oxidation is called reducing agent. So it acts as only reducing agent. So one more example. H2S. Here sulfur is -2. So the minimum oxidation state of sulfur, group number -8. So 6 minus 8, so -2. So this is the minimum oxidation state. So atomic number of sulfur is 16. By gaining 2 electrons, it gets the argon configuration. It cannot gain the one more electron, but it may lose the electron. Losing of electron is oxidation. The compound itself undergo oxidation is called reducing agent. This compound acts as only reducing agent. So minimum, if the central atom has the minimum oxidation state, the compound acts as the reducing agent. Now take one more point here. If the central atom of a compound has intermediate oxidation states, intermediate oxidation states, then that compound act as both oxidizing agent as well as reducing agent. So OA means here oxidizing agent and as well as reducing agent. So intermediate oxidation states. See this one, what is this point here? For example, sulfur. For sulfur, maximum is +6. What is the minimum? -2. Intermediate between +6 and -2, like +5, +4, +3, +2, +1, and 0, -1. These are intermediate oxidation state. Nitrogen. So what is the maximum oxidation state? +5. What is the minimum oxidation state? Nitrogen -3. So like +5 and -3 means here +4, +3, +2, +1, 0, -1, -2. These are intermediate oxidation states. And not all. So these are the intermediate oxidation states for the nitrogen. These are the intermediate oxidation states for sulfur. Like this. Okay, for example, if we take the HNO2, nitrogen oxidation state here, plus 3, plus 3. So for nitrogen, +3 is the intermediate oxidation state. So it may gain the electron, it may lose the electron. Possibilities are there. That's why it can act as both oxidizing agent as well as reducing agent. So like in the same way, one more compound here, He2SO3. What is the sulfur oxidation state here? Sulfur oxidation state is here +4. So here -6 and +2. So +4. So +4 for sulfur is intermediate oxidation state. So it may gain the electron and it may lose the electron. So it can act as both oxidizing agent as well as reducing agent. Okay, like take the SO2, sulfur. Here what is the sulfur oxidation state? +4. So so this compound also acts as both oxidizing agent as well as reducing agent. Okay, like this you can predict but SO3, what is the SO3? +6. So +6 for sulfur is maximum oxidation state. It can act as only oxidizing agent. So like this you can predict the nature of the compound by using oxidation number. So if the central atom has the maximum oxidation state, that compound acts as the oxidizing agent. If the central atom has the minimum oxidation state, that compound acts as the reducing agent. If the central atom has the intermediate oxidation state, that compound acts as both oxidizing agent as well as reducing agent. So that is the uses of oxidation numbers. There is one more main use of oxidation number. So by using oxidation number, we can balance the redox reactions. So we will see the balancing of redox reactions in next class. Okay, that's all for today's session. Thank you.